Hi, I'm Alex Stutchbury and welcome to ARTClass, a series of videos designed to teach you the key skills needed to create great art. Today I'm going to teach you how to draw a portrait, one of the trickiest skills to get right, but I'm going to show you some tricks and little tips to help you on your way to producing a fantastic final outcome.
The objectives are: can I learn the rule of halves, proportion measurements technique and other facial feature drawing methods, and then can I apply this knowledge successfully to accurately scale up a portrait image?
Now, everyone's face is different. Sure, we can draw a face which has eyes, nose, mouth, ears, but actually everyone's unique in their own ways. Proportions are always going to be slightly different. However, I'm going to show you a method called the rule of halves, and that's going to teach you how to create an accurate portrait, which of course you can adapt and refine as you go along, because like I said, everyone is going to be slightly different to the next person. The main thing you need to do though is working from an image which has a relaxed face pose, which is looking straight forward. So something more like the one here and less like the one to my side here. Once you've got that face and you've got your paper, all you need is a pencil, rubber and ruler. Off we go.
The rule of half technique. Basically, you can divide the face into half measurements for the first proportion. So the eyes will sit on the halfway line, so just above, about 45% down, but on that halfway line. Then the nose is roughly halfway between the eye line and the chin at the bottom. So again, the nose will stretch somewhere in amongst that gap. The mouth again will fit halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the face. Finally, on average, for the hairline, it's about halfway up the forehead. However, for someone who's older or if they've got their hair swept back, it may be slightly higher. In this case of the Nelson Mandela picture I'm going to do, his hair has been pulled back and receded.
Right, that's the basics. Let's put it into practice.
So first, draw an oval, filling most of the page, just an even oval. Don't worry about the shape of the face, but then draw that line halfway down the face. Then draw 5 eye widths wide, equal eye widths, and the eyes are going to be positioned in the second and fourth eye widths along.
Right, the eyes are really crucial. They can tell a lot about a person. They're very unique, and you can often recognise someone even if you're just seeing a small part of their face.
So here's a generic eyeball shape. The eyeball is much larger than any part of the eye that you actually see because it's covered by muscle and eyelids above and below, so you won't actually see all of the colour part of the iris itself, but use the basic shape of the eyeball to also frame the eye socket so you can see the eyebrow above and also the bag line underneath. A few different variations here for you to see, a slightly more open one or closed one, but do not do a generic rugby ball shape like this. It doesn't look realistic.
So look carefully. If they're young, maybe slightly wider. If they're old, you may find the eyelids and what they call the bags underneath may be sagging a little bit more. It's going to happen to all of us, and you'll see more creases, especially around the edges. So observe closely your original photo.
So I'm drawing Nelson Mandela, iconic 20th century social rights activist. Now he's quite old in this photo, so his eyes are much more closed, and so you don't see a lot of it. So here's a trick for the nose. It's featuring one large circle and 2 smaller ones acting as the nostrils either side. And then you join those up. Make sure the nostrils sit slightly higher than the central larger circle. And then you can just fill in the nostrils afterwards. Remember, the width of the nose is roughly the size of that middle central circle as well, and it joins up to the eyebrows, not the edges of the eyes. Remember, start halfway between the eyes and the bottom of the oval. So here's the Mandela one. It's got slightly larger nostrils and they join in to the edges of that large circle. For the mouth, a little trick is imagining the 2 letters M and U squashed together. So remember, the mouth sits halfway between the nose and the bottom of the oval, but then imagine an M squashed out, and then the U, often the bottom lip is slightly narrower than the top lip, fitting in between. Variation, to show you here, if someone's smiling, you have a wider top lip and it's much straighter.
You must always remember, no one's face is completely symmetrical. When it comes to the mouth, again, use that MU trick, but actually have a look. Is one side slightly lower than the other? The philtrum, is it straight down the middle or slightly off to the side? That's a little ridge bit between your nose and the top lip. Look carefully at that, and also any structure around the face. An older person may have these lines prominent. A younger person may be very smooth. You must look really carefully when you're doing the jaw and the start of the hair. Remember, it always starts within the ears. Your ears and your jaw, they all fit within those furthest eyes widths. Okay, and then it comes down from there. That's how you can kind of square it off. And also the hair, yeah, it may stick out over the ears, but it will come out from the inside edges of the ears. Don't have the hair and the jaw going too far.
So remember, the ears are drawn within that first and fifth circle. Then you can start working out. Maybe this is where you start forgetting about the original oval guideline and cutting the jaw smoother inside, or maybe squaring it off somewhat.
Okay, the hair is really important. It's only a guideline that the hair starts halfway down. If you've got someone with their hair spiked up, then obviously it may be shorter, or if it's receding, like the Mandela picture, it could be that the hair could be all going across the eyes, or it could be all ruffled completely, madly, almost like Boris Johnson. It could be done in any way, so you've got to look very carefully. Again, it's unique, people style it, and it often sort of represents them in their own way with their hairstyle. So really look at how that hair is styled, or if it's covering the ears.
So with Nelson Mandela, his hair sits or starts higher up on the forehead than halfway, but it's thick around the edges, so it kind of overlaps the top of the ears a little bit. Then quickly make sure you put in the neck and shoulders as well. Don't make it too narrow though. People often make it too small, the neck, and then it looks like the head's way too large in comparison. Rub out the grid lines at the end to make sure the picture is completed.
So there you go, a portrait line drawing. Now each stage is tricky and each feature is hard to get right, so you must persevere, maybe a few goes at it first and then go for a real precise larger piece. Refer to this sheet at the end. I'm going to put it up, so pause the video at the end so you can look at all the stages I've explained to you already during this video. I look forward to seeing how you get on. My name's Alex Stutchbury. Goodbye.